Okay, guys, my name is H.J. Kwan, and as you know, I'm a professor of mechanical and mechatronics engineering. And then I want to ask you about the Waterloo Co-op system. And as far as I know, all of you are currently working as a co-op. And then can you briefly introduce yourself one by one, like from Yu Chen, John, and Marco, and Muslim too. Actually, why don't you start with Muslim? Yeah.
For with me. So currently I'm doing my postdoc in Professor Kwan group.
Mm.
So I used to work with Marco, Johnny, and Yu Chan for their undergrad project. So during the project, we designed a robotic mechanism for HIFO treatment.
Okay.
So it was very interesting that during the project, I noticed that we faced several challenges, and it was very interesting that the team could address most of the challenges based on the experience that they could made during their co-op. So for me as a person to work with them, I also could see the benefit of the co-op. So
Okay.
it was very nice.
Okay. Yu-chan? Yeah.
Hi everyone, my name is Yuchun and I'm currently halfway through my fourth year of mechanical engineering at Waterloo. So this semester from September to December 2021, I'm currently working at Tesla as an intern. My role is related to battery pack manufacturing, so helping production and engineering work together to improve the manufacturing process of the Model Y battery packs.
Okay. Excellent. Excellent. Yeah. Yeah. Hi, John.
Cool. Hi, everyone. My name is John Paulo Pittis. I'm also a fourth year mechanical engineering student at the University of Waterloo. I'm also doing an option in mechatronics. Some of my previous experience, I worked as a data analyst on the display team for Apple Watch and iPhone at Apple, and currently I'm working at Tesla as a materials engineer, both doing internships.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Marco? Yeah.
My name is Marco Popovich. Like Eugen and Johnny, I am also halfway through my fourth year of mechanical engineering with a biomechanics option at the University of Waterloo. This is through the months of September to December. We'll be on a 4-month co-op with Tesla this term. This is actually my 6th co-op term, so it's really helped me progress my way up and get to where I'm at. Currently at Tesla, I'm part of the safety and restraints design engineering team, where we work on a multitude of projects all across different safety platforms to make sure that when you drive a Tesla, you get from point A to point B as safe as possible.
Mm-hmm. So, I understand that all of you are working for Tesla. And my question is, you work relatively for a short time, like a 4 months co-op. So, how can you work with your co-workers? Most of them maybe being probably permanent workers, but you are like a short-time worker or the engineer. And then what kind of level or what kind of duty are you doing at Tesla or in other companies in your previous co-op? How is the relationship with the other co-workers? And then what kind of work? For example, you are still a graduate yet, so regarded as an engineer, or are you regarded as an engineer or technician? So what kind of level are you regarded, and what kind of work are you doing? So and also each additional question: how many Waterloo Co students are working for Tesla? It looks like there is 3. Are there more? Okay, why don't you start with Marco, Yuchan, and Johnny? Yeah.
For sure, I can definitely start it off. To answer that last question first, there's quite a few Waterloo students currently working at Tesla. Tesla has become kind of a goal for a lot of students from Waterloo to try to work there. And with the way the co-op program is set up with the 6 different co-ops, it really does make it achievable to go on a multitude of different things. Tesla's such a large company that even us 3, we all work in different plants and work on different types of projects and whatnot. To answer your question on what kind of stuff we work on and how we're treated in the workplace, the co-op program does a great job in preparing us through each co-op term to take on more and more responsibility. So now coming into being our 5th and 6th co-op terms, you get to a point where really, as soon as you come in, the onboarding process becomes very quick, very smooth, and they really treat you like like you're one of their regular coworkers who's been there for a year, and it's really amazing because in such a short span of time you can get such a vast gain such vast knowledge in whatever really you're working. Some of my previous co-op terms have been also automotive heavy working with Toyota and General Motors and Multimatic, and in each one you pick up something new, whether it's designing suspension for a car or now working on the safety and the seatbelt positioning to whoever knows where it's going to take us next. But you really are treated like one of their own. They really regard you as a true engineer. You get to take ownership of your work and everything that comes with that. So at the end, when you really work on something cool and you finish it and it gets displayed in the vehicle, you really have a sense of pride for what you're doing, and you do get rewarded for it.
Okay, excellent. Okay, thank you. How about you, Chen?
Yeah, to add on to Marco's point, with regards to Professor Kwan's question regarding like we're here for such a short time, how are we able to like contribute during our time here? I'd say that our coworkers definitely keep that in mind when they're assigning us like projects and stuff. That they'll pass us more short-term like projects that can be finished short-term, but still have like decent scope and like decent like experience that can be gained from it. At the end of the day, like even though we're interns and like even though like Marco said, they treat us like full-timers. At the end of the day, their focus is still to make sure that we walk away from this internship having learned more than like gaining more experience than we initially walked in with. So at the mindset of being an intern for our coworkers is to still make sure that they're guiding us through this learning process, even though that we're still technically just another coworker.
I see. Excellent. How about Johnny?
Yeah, I think you, Chen, and Marco, hit the nail right on the head. If you go to a co-op and you're ambitious for work, I mean, your coworkers will for sure give you work. And I would say for majority of my co-ops, they do not treat you like an intern. You're another player in the team.
Oh.
You're working on important tasks and you're doing important work that the company at the end of the day will be using. They're paying for your time, so they're going to get a use out of your time.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay, excellent. So, it's a little bit kind of a sensitive question, but can you let us know how, I know that in California, the living expense is pretty high. So I don't know, if your salary can kind of be enough to live in California. Can you briefly, the not accurate amount, but the kind of rough amount of salary, maybe they are different. And then also, can you also state, the kind of duties you have done in the past? Can you briefly explain that from Johnny, Marco, and Yuchan?
Sure. So in terms of the salary, the salaries are pretty public online. I think you can search them and get a good idea of one company's pay. So I think for us, Tesla pays us $32 an hour, something along those lines. And then they also give us a stipend for housing. So what a stipend is an allowance to be able to live in the Bay Area and work at the company. So they pay us, they give us some money to cover the cost of living and rent, basically.
In terms of monthly salary, how much it will be, roughly?
Monthly, I'm not sure at the top of my head. I don't know, Marco or Yuchan, you can chime in if you know that number. I guess, yeah.
It's about 66,000 a year currently.
Okay.
What we're sitting at as interns.
Okay.
And that's USD.
Okay, excellent. That's a pretty good number in terms of Canadian dollar.
Yeah, very good.
Very good. Okay.
To sort of touch on my experience, like Marco and Yuchan, I've done a lot of different co-ops in the past. So this is my sixth internship. My first one I did at PCL, which is a construction contracting company located in North America. And there I did cost estimation. So there I would work with architects to estimate the cost of projects. My second co-op I did at Bendall Automotive, which is a tier 1 automotive supplier for General Motors. There I worked in the product engineering department where I would design tools and dies used in the manufacturing processes to make some of the components in the cars. My third co-op I did at Magna International, which is an automotive supplier for basically every single car in the world. There I worked in the R&D department where I invented and worked in developing technology for cars that you would see in the next 5 to 10 years. My fourth co-op I did at one of the research labs at our school, the multi-scale additive manufacturing lab, and there I worked automating welding processes using machine learning and vision systems. My fifth co-op I did at Apple as a data analyst, and there I worked on the display technologies teams for Apple Watch and iPhone, and there I built automated systems for basically correlating display quality data back to manufacturing so that they could predict when displays would fail, essentially. And then here at Tesla, I work on the materials engineering team, where we invent different materials for very specific and specialized applications.
I see.
Yeah.
I see. Okay, excellent. A lot of experiences. Okay, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Hi, Marco. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So just to touch on kind of like about the pay scale as well, it really depends throughout the co-ops. And the nice thing is, as you tend to get more technical and more advanced jobs as you go through the system, and the more opportunity, and as a result, you get compensated better for it. So similar to Johnny, this, like I mentioned before, this is also my sixth co-op. I started off very heavy in the automotive industry, starting off with NEMAT Canada, who is a tier 1 automotive supplier for General Motors. There I worked with the manufacturing team on high precision sandcast of aluminum engine blocks, the 2 liter and the 2.5 liter, commonly seen across a lot of General Motors cars, such as the Cadillac ATS and the Chevrolet Malibu and that sorts. Subsequently, I was lucky enough to join Toyota Motor Manufacturing Canada. And there I was actually part of their Toyota North American team, where I worked heavily on equipment procurement and installment for new product lines. So during my time there, it was actually during the changeover where they went from initially manufacturing the Toyota Corolla into manufacturing the new RAV4. So that was really cool to see everything that goes into it, and to really get your feet wet into what it takes to actually build a car. After Toyota, for my third co-op, I went to General Motors in Canada. Specifically, it was a powertrain manufacturing plant where I was working heavily with the GF6 6-speed automatic transmission team. And there I was responsible for assisting the manufacturing line, as well as always trying to find different things to work on to improve process efficiencies. So my first 3 co-ops were very heavily in the manufacturing field, and a unique feature of co-op is that it really allows you to try out and test different waters before you go full-time, because of the 4-month contract time, where it really doesn't it really lets you choose whatever you want. So after I had my taste in manufacturing, I decided to go more into the design direction, and there I went to a small Canadian company in Barrie called Stevenson Technologies Incorporated. STI Conveyor Systems is what they're known as. They actually develop car wash conveyor belts to move cars around. And that was my first introduction to design and product design, and working on creating different modular components that would go across multiple variations of designs that they create. After my time at STI Conveyors, I was fortunate enough to work at Multimatic, and Multimatic is a tier 1 automotive supplier where I worked as a senior design engineering intern. And eventually that led me into coming at Tesla and working on the safety and restraints team. And the co-op program really allowed me to move from manufacturing into design, which I found much more passionate for myself. And without the co-op system, I really wouldn't have been able to try that all out.
Excellent. Okay, thank you very much. Hi, Yu-chan.
Hey, to add on in terms of the salary that Marco and Johnny were talking about, one great thing about Tesla, and I think this might be the same for other companies in like the San Francisco Bay Area, is that they give you guys a lot of like benefits that full-timers will get as well. So like we have access to the same dental, like optical coverages as like the full-timers.
Oh,
And a company like Tesla, like they're very into like sustainability and stuff, right? So they promote ways to like reduce carbon emissions. So they give each employee $130 for public transportation every month, which is capped out at $500 per year. And they also encourage their employees to ride their bikes to work. So for every day you ride your bike to work, you get $15. So that kind of gives you an idea of like a bit of the work culture as well as like the benefits that Tesla offers to their employees. And this applies to both full-timers and interns as well. Now in terms of like my
drive with a gas car to for commuting.
no gas card, but if you carpool, they also encourage that like you can put together a roster of like 4 people, and if you guys like carpool every morning, they'll provide you a car or something.
I see. So the reason why Johnny rides a bike.
Yeah, that's why we ride the bike every morning.
Exactly.
We show up and collect that $15.
I see. Okay, excellent. Okay.
In terms of my internship experience, so my very first co-op was at Natural Resources Canada. That was in Ottawa, the capital of Canada. And what I was doing there was I was helping design like small components and like assemblies for one of their new programs, this heat energy recovery coke oven. So that gave me my first taste of small mechanical design projects, as well as like getting like better understanding how to like using hand tools and like power tools as well, just because we didn't learn any of that in class, and I've had no experience prior to working with those tools. So that co-op really set the tone for me in terms of understanding like what the fundamentals were for mechanical engineering in a sense. And then from there, my second co-op was at this company called AXYZ, and this company designs and manufactures CNC router tables. So similar to Marco, I also did a co-op at Toyota. I was a part of their Lexus RX weld shop. So very similar to the previous co-op. Yeah, I think Toyota and AXYZ, these two companies really helped prepare me for Tesla. But in between, there were 2 more co-ops, the 4th co-op being at ClearPath Robotics. So this internship allowed me to shift gears just a bit and try a role in testing and validation. So ClearPath Robotics is a company that designs and sells industrial robots. So my role at that company was helping the hardware testing run validation tests for in-market products. The co-op before Tesla was at the Woodbridge Group, and this is a company that makes the foam that you find inside car seats. So now here for our 6th co-op, I'm at Tesla, working with the battery pack manufacturing team on the Model Y battery packs.
I see. Excellent. So looks like you have done a lot of co-ops, and then what do you think about how do you evaluate the Waterloo Co-op system? Or the other schools may have a co-op system too, but how about the co-op system? And also, I have a couple of questions so that you can answer all the questions or a part of the questions. And what is the benefit of co-op for you? And also, I know that particularly first year students or the second year students, they have a difficulty in finding co-op position, and they suffer from some kind of the lack of the position, and also they have the difficulty, and also they spend in the study term, they also have to study and also look for a job, so it is not an easy task for them. Also, you don't have a vacation, right? So you either study co-op. So how do you evaluate those co-op system overall? Why don't you start with Johnny and Marco and Yuchan?
Yeah, sure. So I think the answer is sort of fivefold. Okay. I think to answer your first question, the Waterloo Co-op system versus other schools co-op systems.
Well, how do you think about the co-op system? How overall co-op system?
The overall co-op.
Maybe we have experience in Waterloo Co-op. So how do you evaluate Waterloo Co-op? Is it good for you, or do you recommend the co-op system to others? Something like that one. Yeah.
Yeah, so I would highly recommend the co-op system to anyone considering doing it. And the answer is sort of fivefold. So when you go to co-op, you learn skills that you wouldn't always learn in a classroom. So that the skills necessary to succeed in your job differ from sort of what is taught in a classroom. And over time, you can sort of merge those two skills and get a very good understanding of how engineering works. So that's sort of the first part. The second part is going to co-op, you can meet a lot of interesting people, which will help you build your network, which may come in useful in the future, you know, when you want to accomplish maybe your own personal goals as an engineer, or if you want to work at a specific company, the co-op system allows you to sort of build a network of people which you can, you know, later work together with or do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Another great thing about the co-op system is, you know, you make money while you're on the co-op system, so you can pay for your school semesters, which is very nice. You don't have to, you know, if you plan your semesters properly, you don't have to pay. Take out loans to pay for your school semesters, which is always good. The last thing was, what was the last thing? The last thing is you can try out different interests with your co-op system. So my first co-op I did in construction, and the thing I learned from that co-op is I don't really like working in construction. So you know, I went to a different company and I tried out different interests, which is the only time in your life when you're going to be able to do that. So you know, take advantage of it. You're only going to be able to work 4 months at a time at one point in your life. So definitely a good thing.
Okay, excellent. So is it 6 times co-op experience? Is it hard for you, or is it okay? Can you manage them? Yeah.
I think it's very manageable. I think also to sort of touch on what you guys said before about how you don't get a vacation. I think co-op, you know, almost gives you the opportunity to have very good vacations. So you know, I think if I didn't have the co-op system, I wouldn't have the opportunity to travel here to California to you know, visit and tour around, which I've been doing on the weekends. I also know people who have done co-ops at a lot of different locations. I know someone that's done a co-op in Japan and in Germany, all different locations around the world and in different parts of the States. So yeah.
Okay, excellent. Thank you. Yeah. How about Marco?
Yeah, for sure. I think Johnny really hit that one on the head. I think there are so many advantages to co-op, and I would 100% recommend it to anybody if they're able to do it. I just see as you know, like all three of us, we go to the University of Waterloo, and that's where we met Professor and Muslim and each other. But I actually didn't grow up in Waterloo, and I moved away from home to go to Waterloo. And the biggest reason why was for the co-op system. And now, even when I compare to some of my friends who also went into mechanical engineering just at a different school here in Canada, who didn't choose to go into co-op and just decided to have their full-time summers off. It really makes a big difference now when you're trying to look for new opportunities and try to get a job, and not just that, but even just like the vast knowledge that you learn along the way, and like Johnny said, the networking is amazing. So it's really beneficial. I think that I can say personally for myself, like 100%, I would not be working at Tesla right now if I didn't have the co-op program, because my prerequisite knowledge without the co-op program, for me personally, wouldn't have been there, and that really helped me develop, not just on an academic and intellectual level, but just even as a person. You go in different workplaces, you communicate with different people, and you learn to react in different situations. You're gonna go to work sometimes and it's gonna be amazing, and then you're gonna have those days where it's not. And we all know, you know, you have arguments sometimes with your friends, sometimes you'll have arguments with coworkers, but learning to work through all, like the good and the bad, is essential in becoming successful in the future. So that was the co-op is 100% recommended from me. In terms of in terms of how intense is it, and searching for jobs while on a school term, and the vacation part. I think that co-op honestly has is more relaxing than having a 4 month vacation at a time. And the reason I say that is, yes, you are working full time, and yes, you know, you don't have an official 4 month break, but what ends up happening, especially in a program structured like ours, is that ever after first year, I find that we've been on a 4 month school term, 4 month co-op cycle, and having that break between school and work every 4 months, I find is really beneficial, and it helps me kind of like, once you're fed up with school and you've been studying like crazy, it lets you take a step back and say, okay, I'm gonna go to work, I'm gonna try something new, change of pace, while you make some money to help pay off everything, because that's like the fact that we're gonna go to school and basically gonna come out either debt free or with very little debt, or in some cases, depending where you get all your co-ops, you might even come out in a positive. So it really is a nice change of pace, and you get to see a lot of different places and a lot of different people that honestly, like Johnny said, is a vacation of its own.
Okay, excellent. Okay, how about you, Chun?
Yeah, so I'll cover on the one question Professor Kwong was saying from earlier in terms of how students manage in terms of like applying for jobs while being in classes and stuff. And I think the biggest, like, it basically boils down to two words, and that's time management. I think like I feel like our classmates and stuff, we're really good at managing our time, because we know that we have to balance school, we have to go to lectures, like we have exams coming up, but we also have to apply for interviews or apply for jobs and stuff. And like everyone kind of motivates each other to propel each other to get everything done. So I think in terms of how we're able to do it, I think a big part of it is time management, and the other is just like having the atmosphere around us motivate us to put in the effort to apply for jobs and stuff. Yeah. I think in terms of the co-op system, like Marco and Johnny said, I think it's very, very beneficial, just because with a program like ours where you're trying 6 different jobs, that gives you 6 chances to be in 6 different environments. And I think for like as a professional, like being able to put yourself in 6 different situations and learning how to work in 6 different environments, I think makes you a more appealing candidate compared to someone who hasn't had that experience of working in different dynamic environments. Yeah, I think in terms of vacation, like Marco and Johnny said, like being an intern, you won't be as stressed as a full timer. So like you can really chill and relax when you come home, and it really gives you a chance to kind of like develop what you want in your post graduation like lifestyle, right? Like if you like learning how to manage your time, like, oh, like how can I fit in like going to the gym? How can I fit in like cooking the proper meals and stuff for the week? Like it gives you the opportunity to kind of like start envisioning what your lifestyle will look like after graduation. So I think Marco and Johnny pretty much already covered most of the facts, but I'd say like co-op really not only gives you like the experience you need, it also helps you develop to become basically like a full-grown adult.
Yeah. So I noticed that usually the Waterloo graduates are much more mature than the graduates from other universities. And also, if I compare, usually I met students from the first year to fourth year, and there is a kind of the significant difference between first year students and then fourth year students, and then nowadays first year students. It looks like they are very, very mature. Your faces are like not much different from me. I don't know about that. Definitely, co-op experience, have a good chance to you be more prepared for the real job, I believe. And then it may be the final question. So, after kind of a lot of co-op experience, what kind of a future career you want to have, or do you want to have some of your friends, or how many of your friends are thinking of kind of making a startup, and how do you think about that, and then what's your career goal in the future? So why don't you start from now, Yuchun, Johnny, and Marco?
Yeah, so to touch on the number of startups, I think just my personal bubble, like most people are more geared towards full-time careers in like very like existing companies. Maybe if you are doing or considering grad school as well. Personally, my post-graduation goals and stuff, I'm still indecisive. Like I have a few idea or like I have a list of things I'm trying to like decide between. So like a quick run through, like I'm deciding whether or not I want to pursue grad school, and if I do grad school, I'm leaning towards thermal engineering. Other aside from that, like in terms of careers, like I'm looking to work for either big name companies like either Airbus, Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company, or I can't remember what the other one was, but Tesla's like in the consideration, but definitely a company that's like making like a big impact to like that has a big influence on how we live on our daily lives. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. Nothing set in stone yet, but still thinking and processing like what my next steps are.
Okay, I see. Excellent.
Thank you.
Yeah. Johnny?
Yeah. Okay, so I would say that I guess through all my co-op experiences and my school experiences, the thing that I like most when I work is I like working on different things, and then I like working on things where I can see sort of the impact of my work. So I really enjoyed working at Magna International because that work I was working on creating stuff for vehicles that hadn't yet been done. So technologies that have the capability of saving lives, like monitoring, driver awareness and stuff like that. So I would say my sort of career ambitions are to work in a space where you sort of combine working on new innovative things and then also work on things where you can sort of see the fruit of your labors and sort of, appreciate the work and see work that you've done in the real world. So maybe ideally for me, my dream job is either working in a startup or a small company or working at a large company in like R&D.
I see. Yeah. Definitely, I agree that the most of the smart people, they want to work for some kind of innovative, and then that can make an impact in the world. Yeah, I agree. Okay. How about the Marco? Yeah.
Yeah. It's to finish it off, I guess. For me personally, kind of like I've always found myself to be the most effective at something I'm very passionate about, and whether that's been like research or whether that's been working on like the HIFU project, like with Muslim and these guys, something along those lines. I really like to fully indulge myself into that. So I think for me down the line, hopefully one day, once I figure out what exactly I want to do, but maybe having a startup I think would be a really cool idea. And I think that because we get to do so many co-ops and you get to meet so many people, you actually see all the different aspects it takes to kind of put a company together. And you realize that you don't need to be the one that knows every single thing. You just need to be able to surround yourself with people that can all work together and create that overall understanding and work towards a goal. So I think a startup is hopefully down the line for me. In terms of like right after graduation, if I have a cool idea, maybe go down that right. But otherwise, honestly, like I'm trying to keep my doors open. But another cool aspect I think about with the co-op system is that, for example, I've been really enjoying my work at Tesla right now, and because they also know that I'm approaching graduation, if you do a good job and they like you, oftentimes they will extend an offer, and that's something that's definitely a potential there. So I'll let you know after like 6 months and I get my and we graduate and all of that, but that's probably the plan for me.
I see. Excellent. So in many cases, the co-op job is connected to the real permanent job after graduation?
Very common. I know a handful of people already that I have not even done school, like on their last semesters, and already have secured full-time positions through their like last co-op.
Okay.
I know other people that have secured positions with like not even their last co-op, but like maybe their third or fourth co-op, like one of the previous ones. Because you keep in touch with your managers, you grow that network, and you realize like, yeah, that's something you want to finish off with. So I know quite a few people that have done that. My brother personally, he was also a Waterloo graduate 2 years ago, and he actually in the middle of the pandemic when that hit, he was actually able to secure a full-time position right away with his last co-op, because they were happy with his work, and it really did help him out, and a lot of his friends as well that have done something like that. So from personal experience, definitely very viable option.
Okay, excellent. Hi, Muslim. After this interview, you did not do co-op in your undergraduate, right? So
yes.
How do your undergraduate compared to Waterloo students?
So first, in my undergrad, my undergrad was not in Waterloo. I did just one co-op. That one co-op was like in the last year of my undergrad. So I didn't have the chance, the same as like the Marco or Johnny to Yuchan, to work on different projects. However, like when I went through like my master and PhD, so I worked with many different people in terms of the research. So, but when I started to work with Marco and Johnny and Yuchan under supervision of Professor Kwan, so right after like the first 2 meetings, I noticed that these guys are not junior researcher. They are not junior engineer. They are like a much higher level than that.
Exactly. Right.
So that was like in the beginning of the project. So we set the final goal with these guys, and what I did was amazing. And it's so for me it was the interesting that they could find a solution very easy, like so very talented with very high experience. As I said, like for me, these teams was a group of people with very high experience. So it is obvious that this experience, this background, probably most of them made it during their co-op. So I can give like a bunch of examples, because during a project, we worked on very complicated project. We decided to develop an fully autonomous surgical table with HIFA. So the topic was very complicated. It includes AI, it includes mechatronics, even the robotics was very complicated because everything should be in the water because of the ultrasound wave propagation. So it was very challenging if I want to talk about the challenges. But this team, they acted like a group of professional people. So that's why for me, as a person who had the experience to work with these people, I always see them, and it's like for me, they are always like some senior researcher, not junior researcher.
Yeah, right. And also they are very good at kind of teamwork. They know
exactly
how to work as a team. So that's one benefit of Waterloo students, I think.
Exactly.
But one bad thing for Waterloo professors, usually the Waterloo graduate, they don't want to go to graduate school. They already taste the money, so they want to go back to academia rather they go to industry or startup. So that's only a bad thing. But anyhow, and thank you very much, all of you, and thank you for time. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Johnny. Thank you, Yuchan, and thank you, Marco. Yeah, so have a good time, and then all of you keep safe, and then safely come back, and let's meet at Waterloo. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Looking forward to it.
And thank you, Muslim.
Take care.
Thank you, Professor.